There we go. Oh, thanks, Bob. Just caught me as I got in here. Thank you for lurking. I appreciate you. And I hope you have a lovely time with your kids. And thank you, Robo, for shouting out Featherfall and Bob's channel for all your D&D enjoyment. Go check out Featherfall. Hi, Danny. How are you? I'm glad seems like you've recovered past your shot. I am glad that you are feeling good and here. Hopefully you're feeling good. And thank you for continuing that subscription, Robo. I appreciate you. Sleepy today and a stream later. That is a combination. I don't know what kind. Could lead to fun DMing. It could lead to zany DMing. Uh, Either way, I wish you tons of fun. Uh, I think I've probably been a sleepy DM before, and probably less prepared than you. So I uh, ruefully look back at my players, and I think your players will have a fantastic time. So anyway, welcome in. Let me know if the music is too loud, because I am still setting that up. It occurred to me that I kept having my headphones turned off because I had no sound coming through them. So we found some free music to it's very low. It's mostly to keep my headphones on. I can turn it up. Yeah, the music isn't really for the stream, Robo. uh Literally just to keep my headphones from shutting off. There you go. Yeah, I had it turned down pretty low because I didn't want to yeah, I turned it up a little bit to 50-ish% or something, and I've got the YouTube pretty low. So let's get going. I apologize for missing a couple streams, but we've had in-laws visiting and we've been being very productive around the house. Um, we built a catio. That's exciting. Uh, One of the cats seems to really enjoy it. Um, of course, he's only out there supervised, but anytime we... Yes, the cat cage! Oh, and apparently Mark has just installed a bird feeder to taunt the cats, because we want to make sure they are tempted to go out. Um, Still, it's nice. It's very small because it's just on the stoop. Um, but it's big enough for the cats and to sit and have a cup of coffee. uh, Do a couple reps and come right back, Robo. Hi, Teo. We are just starting up. Um, I'm getting a million freaking notifications through Slack as the door goes open and shut. Oh my goodness. What did you do? Oh, I see. I didn't. I have not learned. I still have not put timer. You need cooldowns on these things. Oh my goodness. Ah, this is just me knowing that I have not. Oh my goodness. Okay. I forgot to disable the tornado kick during the kitchen because I can't do it in the kitchen. It's not big enough. I could. No, it's not. That one's. What was wrong with saving up to do squats with Mark on my shoulders? How is this not buddy squats? How is this not exciting and fun thing to save up for? So, nice stretch to start off. I'm not even wearing a tank top today. I mean, you could have saved this for a better time, Teo. But it's your points. You spend them how you like. And I'll have to do the gorilla squats later once I have a chance to get the bow. I'm gonna be saving up for all these. I'm gonna do all these after I bake something because I'm gonna have to reset up the whole situation just so I can get to a space that's big enough to do them. Or I guess I could just turn. I don't have a solo cam set up for the baking one. Anyway, let's get to it. And no, Teo will keep me honest that I have a couple more redemptions for him. Hi, Vinny. How are you? I think I meant hi, not hi. What am I doing? There, cooking. So, after all that, we need to wash up. So, first things first, I've got butter. I need 9 tablespoons, but I also want it to stay cold. So I'm going to dice it up and get it back in the fridge until I'm ready to use it. 9 tablespoons, also known as a stick and a bit. I want to get it into little pieces. Tank top redemption, yeah. Because I'm going to be working this into the flour with my fingers, and I want it to be easily incorporated while cold. Getting slippery. Even just being out of the fridge for a little bit, it's getting soft. Don't usually need a tank top redeem. I usually have one on for the times when it matters, when I'm going to be working out. All this time I could have been prepping. I could have been making cooldowns. Cooldowns to save Teo from himself. And then I also have this lovely slurry. I'm gonna grab some more ice to make it sure it's nice and chilly, because that's another strategy for keeping our dough in the situation we want it. So I'm gonna start off with a mix of flours. I don't think it took you that many weeks, Teo, honestly, because I didn't have that redeem up until a couple weeks ago. So that looks like 2/3 of a cup or so. So I'm just doing a mix of flours here. Should grab a whisk or something just to break it up, make sure it's not clumpy. So this recipe Mark found for me is strawberry tart, and I keep saying quotes, bunny ears tart, because pretty sure that these things have like definitions built in with them, like in terms of shape and structure and several things. But true to like the original concept of my stream, it is very simple, needs little to no equipment that anyone wouldn't have. Like, I could be doing this with a fork. I didn't need a whisk. I just had a cup measure. No special ingredients, except for the ones that I'm choosing to make happen. You don't need your salt in a little piggy. That is completely optional. This recipe called for rye flour, but I don't have any rye flour, so I just did a mix of AP and whole wheat flour. And I do want it to have that lovely dark look. So I'm gonna add some molasses, because it'll give you a little bit of that deep, rich flavor, as well as that color that you would have gotten from the rye flour. So I'm making the dough with vinegar. This is vinegar mixed with that molasses to thin it out so I can incorporate it, and then just some ice. I've had some ice melting in there because I do want to water it down a little bit, and then some more ice to keep it nice and chilly. So now that that's ready, I will get my butter back out. 2.5, yeah, 2.5 weeks to get that much there. Plus, you did some redemptions in there, Teo. So I will not, I will not believe for 1 second that it would have been like some sort of onerous task to get all the way up there. Can do that other flex and stretch once I get this dough handled. So then I'm just trying to keep it cool. I am just tossing my butter in to cover it with flour and then just pinching it in with my fingers. That keeps the butter a little bit insulated. The tossing initially keeps the butter a little insulated from my warm fingies. I've also been keeping my hands on my cold glass of water to keep them from getting too warm, which is ideal. If you wanted to do this in a food processor, you could do that. It would just take a couple blitzes. Um, but I didn't feel like washing the food processor. And again, I'm trying to keep it nice and simple. So, using very few tools today. And you need a bowl, you need a cup measure, you need some you need a baking sheet, you need an oven. Spoiler alert, I need to make a command for that. Robo! When you BRB, I'll have to, someone help me remind Robo to help me brainstorm a spoiler alert command for whenever the kitty walks by. Because that might be better. No one wants to use points for that. Apparently it's more exciting to watch me do things with weights and such. There we go. So you can calculate it down. Use that engineering degree, Teo. Make the math happen. Can you get my bow out, Mark? Because Teo apparently wants some squats. What are you doing?
Doing the bow.
That's not quite the same. Yes, I know, but I need to do them later because Teo has requested and paid for them with points and such. Oh, I didn't get an egg out. Anyway, um, my music stopped. What happened to my music? There it is. As soon as I wash my hands and go over to actually do something about it, that's when it comes back on. So I'm just going to drop a few tablespoons of my cold stuff in here. And then start mixing it up with a spoon. And I just want it to be barely coming together. I don't want too much liquid in. Grab wooden spoon. God, I should move the Streamlabs just so I don't have the pop-up alerts on my computer going over the chat. Yes, Epic Store, I know you have something on sale. You always have something on sale. And there. Easy as that. The dough is already come together. Oop. I got a piece of ice in there. Yeah, you get more points with that Prime subscription if you want to make me do more stuff. Subscribe with Prime. Subscribers get more points. Toss that in here. Clear away my notifications. Yeah, see, it does add up. Official lurk, Robo. Didn't officially lurk before. Unlurk. I thought you made me an unlurk. Maybe I don't have an unlurk. I've never worried about it though. I had actually never heard about it until you mentioned it. What did Mark do with all my eggs? Now I've got eggs. There we go. Ah! Don't walk in when the door's open. Mark's trying to break the refrigerator over here. Oh, what I was saying earlier that I needed to remind Robo about is to help me brainstorm a spoiler alert command. Because we had a kitty drive by in the background. Yeah, I figure if people just come back, then they have unlurked. This is just some egg for an egg wash. Doing it in my flour cup because then I don't have to wash another dish. Yeah, I knew you'd put it in there. I know you. I knew it was there because you did it. Okay. Now I can turn my oven on. And move on while that heats to some other things. So the main bit of this, let me get another stretch in for Teo now that I have gotten one thing accomplished. Match the lurk. There you go, Teo. Making myself broad. Just for you. Okay, so I should get out some sort of place to put my strawberries so I can get these all. I just did it! Teo, give me a second to do a thing. Goodness. Okay, didn't actually even read this entire. Oh, that's it? Okay. Spread, spread. Decorative pattern. Love recipes that just say. You can't walk away from these things, Teo. Stuff happens. Stuff happens and you miss it, and then you come back. See, see? That would have been good. I wouldn't have stretched for you if I'd known you were lurking. Use that lurk command, folks. Okay, what was I doing? I was beginning to dice my strawberries. Nice and fresh and deep, deep red. I did not switch back to my cooking camera. I'm like showing you strawberries and you can't see them because super bright red, looking lovely and delicious. And I just want to eat some, which I can. I don't know how many I need for this thing. But the great thing about this is that whatever I don't end up using for the tart, I can just snack on. There we go. I know I'm safe from needing to do redemption until Taya gets back. Quote safe. Mark went shopping and now all my places for things in the fridge have changed. What can I put where? There. Which things are not going to spill, and I can therefore lay them on their side. There we go. Never safe from Teo, right? So, if you were Mark, you would use a little device to hold strawberries. But I feel like this is more trouble than it's worth, so I'm just gonna leave that on the drying rack. He loves it. Professor Mendel! Hello! Welcome in! Welcome, Professor. It's so nice to see you. You weren't even cooking today. You were playing some Ni no Kuni. Can I get a shout out, please, for Professor Mendel? I stumbled upon Professor Mendel several weeks back. She was doing a baking stream. So convenient. And got to chatting, and she is a certified baker educator in Canada. Thank you, Featherfall. Awesome, I'm glad you enjoyed. I played that way back when it first came out. I remember liking it a lot. So I'm glad you're having fun, and thank you so much for bringing some lovely folks to my stream. I really appreciate it. So for new people, and hello, welcome in also, Random Bat. Nice to see you again for the second time today. And this is what I was chatting with you about earlier. Was this strawberry tart thing that I'm doing, even though it's not really shaped or anything. Maybe you can settle that question, Professor. If I don't have it in a tart pan, is it still a tart? If it's just baked in a flat sheet, it's kind of like a flatbread, but it's a strawberry tart. So, if you have a professional opinion, Claymore, you already chose this recipe. You didn't need to do another. And see, I've made galettes too, but it's not folded over like a galette. It's just flat. So is it still a galette? Yeah, all I'm doing right now is not using Mark's Huller. I'm just slicing my strawberries so I can fan them out and make them look nice on the tart when I get to that step. But yeah, what I was saying, if you haven't been here before, my name is Warren, or call me Quake. I bake on Thursdays. And other days of the week, I try to stream some video games and some board games. I've been fairly busy this week, so I haven't done a whole lot of it, but I will get back to it soon. And welcome in. Hi, Pickle Ricky. Yeah, actually, strawberry bars might be a good name for it. It's not going to be a super thick base, and it's just like it's a tart crust instead of like a cookie crust. But it's a strawberry something, and it should be lovely and delicious. I mean, you can't really go wrong. I've got these nice fresh strawberries, and you could really put them on most anything, and they'd be delicious. Good enough to eat, as I say. Yes, adapted from that recipe in the New York Times. but didn't have rye flour, so I made a few artistic license substitutions. Yes, it's going to be very rustic. I also don't have any mascarpone, which it called for initially, but I will just use a sweetened cream cheese and call it good. It says use very high quality jam, and I have some jam that I made, and if you've been here before, you might have seen me make jam on stream. And you know it's going to be high quality if you made it yourself, because you know exactly what's in it. It's just fresh fruit and some sugar and some lemon. And I think I used a high pectin fruit, so it didn't even need any extra pectin or thickening agents or anything. Hi, Bo. Welcome in. Oh, if you want to, if you could shout out Bo and actually Random Bat also. She also does baking streams, and I believe was paying Graveyard Keeper or something the other day, or maybe it was the one Stardew or something, some game like that. Graveyard Keeper. Yes, exactly that. Do I need this anymore? I don't think I need this anymore. Or the knife. Okay. Our oven is almost there, so let's get out our dough. And like I was saying earlier, this is a super simple recipe. You just roll out the dough right on a piece of parchment and bake it on that same piece of parchment. No fussing about trying to roll it over your rolling pin and transferring it to another vehicle, to another container. Anything. Super chill, super easy. Just also another thing I like about... Oh, see, the reason this might not be a galette, Professor, is just because I'm not baking the fruit either. I don't know how strict these definitions are, but I am just baking the tart shell, and then the rest of the things are going on after it cools down. For those of you who came in with the raid, I got this, the recipe called for rye flour, which I didn't have. So I got this color from adding just a little bit of molasses to my dough. And now I'm just rolling it out fairly thinly, and I'm kind of coaxing it into a somewhat rectangular shape. Not super important because it is going to be rustic and simple. And we will make the fruit look nice on top. So I'm not going to worry too much about it being perfect. Which is also great for the theme of my channel. It's going to be good enough. I am not the most talented decorator, food artist type person. So things that are nice and simple, geometric designs are best for me. Because they've come out looking nice and they're fairly simple to accomplish. There we go. I think this might be the fanciest tool I've used so far, is just this pastry brush. I'm just going to do my egg wash. If my molasses didn't get it brown enough, then the egg wash will do some of that for me. Help me out there. There's also no sugar in this dough, which I'm just thinking of. And I haven't tasted my strawberries, so I don't know how sweet they are. So I might do a little sprinkle of sugar, depending on my strawberries. No, my strawberries are nice and sweet. So I'm just going to leave it as is. Throw this in. And call it good. Give that 15 minutes and see what happens. That's the idea. Fingers crossed. And if it doesn't, I will give you the unchanged recipe and tell you this one tasted good. Because I don't have anyone to share with except for the family. And they will absolutely tell me the truth. So I don't know if I've served you a galette before, Robo, but a galette is just like a pie without a pie pan. So it's just pretty close to pie dough. You roll it out into a circle. You pile some fruit with cornstarch and sugar and spices or whatever's good and whatever's in season. And then you fold the dough over it, egg wash that, and cook it. And if you're using cornstarch to get things thick, you need to make sure the mixture boils, or the liquid in there boils, so you can cook the taste of the cornstarch out and get it to thicken. But yeah, that's all a galette is. Just a pie without a pan. Slices up real nice. Travels real nice. Yeah, Clay and I are both guilty of starting lots of games and not finishing them. I was trying to find a game to play on stream for a while, and I could not settle on something, so I started several things for one stream and finally settled on Amalur, which I've been playing on most Wednesdays. I didn't last night because I was wiped out from finishing the catio and all sorts of other yard work. I just had a towel. I just folded it up all nice. There it is. These are the discussions. These are the things we're learning. I heard a ding. What was the ding? I didn't get a notice. If someone dinged and did something, thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. If it was a follow or a... Oh, it was random. Thank you. Thank you so much for the follow. I see it now. No worries. I appreciate you hitting that follow button now. I'm going to put myself off of, and thank you, Pickle Ricky. Thank you for the follow as well. Oh, and I have new emotes if you are subscribers, so please check those out. Use them as much as you like. We've got my lurk emote, but it's me sitting there with a little cup of coffee. And then we've got me and Clay clinking some champagne glasses. So feel free to toast. What am I doing? That's baking. I can get my cheesy mixture together. That's what I can do. So the base recipe says to use... He wants champagne now. Of course he does. You always want champagne, Clay. And I'll always have a glass with you. The base recipe says to use mascarpone for this, which is naturally sweet. Since I am using cream cheese, I'm going to whip it up and add a little bit of sweetener, just because it doesn't have that same natural sweetness that mascarpone does. But I'm just going to kind of make, I don't want to get it too thin because I want it to spread on my dough. So I'm not going to make like a frosting out of it. But I am going to loosen it up just so it's spreadable. Everyone, please have a glass of champagne if you are of that inclination. I will always have a toast with you. I'm going to add a little dollop of yogurt. I've got some lemon juice that I squeezed earlier and saved. And a couple tablespoons of sugar. And again, I don't need it to get too sweet because we have lovely fresh strawberries. And we're also going to throw some jam down on there, assuming I can find my jam. I know I made some. It's got bits and pieces and places. Somewhere in here. Oh, here we go. This one's old. I think I'm going to just throw that out, but this one is fresh. We had some leftover blueberries that were going soft, but they were still good. So I just cooked those down with some lemon juice and sugar. Made some blueberry jam. Great thing to do with fruit if you... Yes, I made this a few days ago. It's the fun thing about streaming is Clay will come over and talk to me over here, and I will respond to him, and it will just look like I am talking to no one, which is, I guess, the whole stream. But you know, I'm gonna get a fork back out for this, but keep this for spreading later. And of course, it doesn't have to be spread super neatly and nicely because we're going to cover the whole thing up with strawberries. Oh, it's blueberries, blueberry jam. But honestly, just use whatever fresh fruit jam you have for this. Marmalade might even be nice, like a lemon marmalade. Yes. And I must, because I do upload these to YouTube afterwards, so I'm sure that must look exciting because it doesn't have the chat attached, I don't think. I don't know. I haven't actually watched one. So I don't know how well that translates to the YouTube, but I guess it kind of makes enough sense. It has to. I'm just going to pretend it does. And of course, taste your filling too. Make sure it's sweet enough. Still just kind of tastes like cream cheese. I'm not eating a bagel. I'm going to add a little bit more sugar and a little bit more of that lemon juice just to brighten things up. And actually maybe a pinch of salt too. Didn't actually look at my cream cheese to see how much, if any, salt was in there. Just a pinch will do. It'd also be nice to put any sort of nice complementary spices in here. And I would love to give you an example, but I don't have anything that like really goes with strawberry. I mean, citrus and ginger is always a nice matching, but I don't really know what goes with strawberry. Honestly, maybe like saffron. Yes, welcome to my baking streams random where I just figure it out as I go along. Pickle Ricky, what's my favorite grocery store? Um, I think I live in Sacramento and we've got a really nice local food co-op that has really nice fresh ingredients. But these strawberries are from the local farmers market, so just because it's getting into that season, that is going to be the best place. So during your spring and summer months, um, I would always grab fresh fruit from the farmers market if you were able. If not, then local food co-ops often have agreements with local farmers, so they will have very nice fresh things. And then otherwise, I usually go to Trader Joe's, where we get several things. But then, of course, they don't have a lot of staples. We get shipments of flour and things because my mom has an account with not like a fancy, not a like corporate account or anything, but she loves ordering things from King Arthur, so we always have flour that way. Um, if I'm baking a lot, we honestly get flour and sugar from Costco because you can get large amounts of it. So if I'm baking for anything and producing lots of things, yeah, we're really fortunate to have a good co-op here. I mean, for a while I lived in Davis, and they had a pretty good co-op as well. But for the longest time, you had to be a member, and of course, I was a student at the time and didn't have a really good method of paying for membership. Basil, yes, that would be really nice with the strawberry. That would be a great idea, or mint even, because I have mint in the garden right now, and I am notorious for being bad at growing basil. But yes, see now I think if I was doing mint or basil, I would make like a sugar syrup out of it, and I would have used that syrup to flavor the cream cheese, which would have been nice. And of course, you can mince it up and run it through your dough as well, and then make a little chiffonade of basil to put on top at the end. Because everything is cool at that point, and so you're not going to worry about scorching it. So you can get that nice fresh basil flavor running through all three layers, really. Yes, the farmer's market has been moved recently, but it's honestly closer to our house now instead of driving downtown. So we're not too mad about it. Although it was nice to go to the Sunday market and hit a few shops downtown at the same time. So we don't have that extra level of convenience built in. Yeah. But you're still near the co-op. So just go to the co-op. Although I think the farmer's market is probably substantially cheaper than the co-op. So now I'm just waiting a few minutes on my shell to come out. And then I'm going to pull a Great British Bake Off and take my cookie tray and fan it off to try to get it to cool down. Oh, I really should have put like a cookie tray in the freezer to put it on. That would have been smart. Well, it's got 3 minutes to chill down. Mark didn't bring me my bow. I could have done my gorilla squats. Although I think Teo is still lurking, so I don't want to give him his redemption while he's still away. Robo is still trying to get me to get a blast chiller. I don't know. I'm going to remodel this kitchen at some point. So maybe during the remodel we can find a place to put a blast freezer. I don't... Honestly, I'd be happy if we could build in like a mini fridge or a wine fridge. Um, I'm really gonna... our in-laws are here, and I talked it through with my mother-in-law. And we're gonna get this counter out of here. There's there's this higher counter up here and a lower counter, which is not useful because we never we never use the bar area for sitting. Upcoming random, just as in been in the works, but of course everything's been delayed through quarantining and things, and now we've been working at home, so we'd have to figure out a way to to work well while we were having people in remodeling. But yeah, I really need to get rid of the tile because it's terrible, especially for cooking a lot. Um, and this upper counter we're going to bring down to be the same level, so I'm going to have this huge wide area to work at. And I can move the computer with the camera over to that area, so it's going to be much easier to do all my setup. It's so exciting to think of, but I've, of course, got to do it at some point and pay for it. There we go. Pull that out. Get myself onto my little pan here. And there is, it's not quite big enough. Whatever. There is my tart shell. I can just pop this whole thing back in the freezer, honestly. That'll cool it down. Yes, tile count, especially because, like, I would have had to get out of, I normally, at least I was doing it on that cookie sheet this time, but normally if I'm trying to roll out anything, I've got to get a cutting board, which is annoying because it sticks to the wood, and then I have a silicone mat, but then it still has the little dimples in it. Yes, so replace the counters, lower this other countertop so we have a nice flat area. I hate the sink. This lip is a pain in my behind when I'm trying to clean anything. So yes, be very excited to do a remodel. Yes, no, we already don't have a wall here. It already is open up to the front area. It's all one big room, so I don't have to worry about that. We already have that part of it done. Um, it is. It's gonna once we can actually have people over and have like potlucks again, it's gonna be a great area for putting all that food. It's gonna be so nice. Thank you so much for catching me live, for bringing your community to see me and share this time. Enjoy your walk with your doggos. Professor has two lovely, adorable doggos that join her on her streams. Um, so check her out, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. um, yeah, we've had the kitchen like this for so long. I can't even imagine having a nicer area. But we've been in the house 12 years now. It's way past time. Um, and we were talking about it, and since we never use the counter area as a bar, we can get another, like, we can get these same cabinets and just put them under this other side too and have much more storage space. I can get some of the stuff off my counter so I can actually have room to work while I'm streaming. Amazing! I will absolutely post those as soon as they are done. Yeah, we're going to cut off the top part, Robo, lower it down, move the outlet around so we still have it. No, not knock down the whole thing. Because, the sink is here, the dishwasher's here, everything is already set up. We're just going to make one big flat counter area for... Yeah, no, where would I put anything if I knocked out the whole thing? I'm trying to create more workable space for myself rather than less. Okay. We are probably chilled enough. Yeah, I can touch it, which is good. Well, the bottom of this is hot now. I should have put another cold one in there to sandwich it with. Whatever. We learn as we go along. Cool. So, I am just going to go ahead and get started with this. I think this comes on first. I was supposed to poke the dough with a fork. Whatever. It didn't puff on me that much. Stop posting links. Yes. No links, please, unless we know who you are. Onto a serving platter. Okay. Let's get it onto a platter so I don't have to worry about moving it. Post. How big is this? What am I going to put this on? What am I going to do? Just do it on the cutting board, or I can get something else out. Can't use that platter because Mark will sass me for using a Christmassy one. Perfect. And I can just trim up the edges if I didn't lose my knife. Just to make it fit. And then I can taste it and make sure it's nice. Yeah, it's not super sweet. Tastes nice. It's crunchy. It's a nice flavor. I will give that a thumbs up. But again, it's not very sweet and it is dessert, so I'm glad I sweetened up my filling a little bit. Right? Let's do my squats while I'm over here plopping stuff down on. Should end like the kickstand decoration thing and put a little bit of my frosting on the bottom, because this is sliding around everywhere. It's alright. It's supposed to look rustic. I should be using the other side of this, honestly. There we go. That is easier. You could also use like a palette knife or an offset spatula to make your life easier. But we are being nice and simple today, keeping tools and cleanup to a minimum. Could honestly just dip some strawberries in this stuff. If Mark was listening, he might actually be doing that right now. But he's not. I think he's being constructive over there. What did I do? What happened? What are you clipping over there, Robo? Okay. Now we need some little dots of jam. See, Robo thinks of the things that don't even occur to me. No, let's just use this all. Just gonna spread these around and get it relatively flat and smoothed out. I'm gonna watch that later. gonna throw the rest on there to get smoothed out, but I have to change my spatula because I licked the other side of it. There we go. Nice, lovely, creamy, jammy kind of filling. I keep tasting little bits of it as it's coming together and it just gets better and better. No worries, we are just finishing up and wrapping up in a few minutes. So thank you for working your magic, Robo. I appreciate you. And I'm just going to figure out how to make these layers. Should have sliced them maybe a little bit thinner. It said 1/4 inch. These seem like they're really thick. Oh no! I'm going to try to use the inside. Oh, maybe I'll do it the other row, pack the other way to fill in those gaps. We don't want any gaps in our berries. Maximum berry coverage. You want a bite of everything I do, Teo. I know you. One of those young folks with the metabolism to eat this every day. I got your number. I am seeing where I was not quite as precise slicing these. It's alright. Of course, this is a nice, soothing, relaxing bit of this. Getting everything nice, neat rows. And again, this is a great trick. Like, if you are like me and you are not good at decorating, see my attempt at the self-portrait cookie for my level of artistic skill. You can make things really nice and beautiful by just making a consistent pattern. Geometry always looks nice for you. And I think I could just trim up the edges a little bit more. Just to be even. And of course I could have gotten that all done and then transferred it over afterwards. This is less fiddly than I think the recipe would have had me believe. It would have transferred over just fine now, and I wouldn't have had all those crumbs on the plate. Let's see. Let's try to clean up the plate with a towel. That's the thing they do on, like, cooking shows, right? Clean up all these little extra crumbs. Make it look nice, presentable. How are these bonus strawberries? And honestly, I think a couple spoonfuls of sugar just on the top, just for that little crunchy crunch, for some texture. If I had some like Demerara sugar or Termidano sugar, I would use that here. But I think the only like sanding sugar I have is green, and I don't want to put a bunch of green on this right now. So I'm just gonna give it a little sprinkle. And there you go. If I can figure out where my camera is. Right, see? Super simple, all fresh ingredients, really easy to do, and it's gonna be delicious. So, if you'd like a bite of that, which it looks like Taylor wants a bite. Hi, Taylor. Lovely to see you. Just as we're wrapping up the stream, but I will post this recipe to the YouTube. I think it looks better like straight down on because you don't see the ridges of the strawberries so much, but that is going to be good enough to eat. Yeah, I mean, we have the folks visiting right now, so I mean, that's 4 pieces, right? 4? I mean, this could just be dinner. We got serving of fruit, serving of whole grains. That counts as dinner, right? Okay. So I'm going to do some, let's see, how do I want to do this? I don't even know how to like arrange myself to try to do any of those redemptions. My goodness. I don't want to do, I'm going to have to do the kick for you another time, Teo, because I have to do a lot of resetting. Oh my goodness, that was Setsuna. I did not notice you'd pop in. I was assuming that was Teo. Hi, Setsuna. Welcome in. We are finishing up and getting ready to raid, but this is my strawberry. I think we ended up calling it a rustic tart or strawberry bars or something. It's strawberry something. Maybe that's what we'll just call it. It's the strawberry something. Whatever it is quite tasty, and I wish I could share with all of you. I will go get my gorilla bow and do those squats for Teo because I can handle that, but kicks will be another time. And as I grab my bow, I'm remembering that I'm getting quite used to this resistance level. And I'm going to have to switch out some of these bands for some heavier ones pretty soon. Yeah, let's get on and refresh my... It's a good time to refresh the old Twitch and see who is on and doing things. No. Got this guy lurking behind me. Yep, think it's time to up the resistance on there. Thank you for popping in at the end, and I will get that recipe posted. And honestly, super simple. So please get yourself some fresh strawberries and give it a try, because I know, I can't wait to dig into that. Let's see who is doing some streaming today. Let's go see how long has. Gotta see how long people have been on so you know if they're going to be on for a while yet. Oh, Gabe just started, so let's go see Gabe. That'll be fun. How do you spell? Oh, easy. No fancy syllables or anything. So we're going to go say, bring our love to Paper Gabe. He is just starting a run of Kingdom Hearts. And thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you again to the professor for raiding and bringing the community. And I'm going to dig in because that is good enough to eat. I'll see you next time.